that's right. Do you want to come in?
Thank you. My name's Marian Wilkes. I live up at Inglebrook. I'd like to talk to you about some gates.
Paul, would you like to sit down? Is your father better?
Oh, you know him?
Well, we've met. And I've heard about the crash. Couldn't be otherwise in a small place like this. And I've seen him about the place. You too.
We're having a new drive made lower down. Be safer away from the main road.
Aye, will that.
We'll want some gates for it. You make them, I believe.
Well, only in wrought iron. I don't work in wood.
Well, do you have a catalogue or anything?
Well, most of the gates I make are individually designed. I've got a few sketches you could look at. Might give you a few ideas.
That would be useful.
Aye, well, they're in forge. Won't be a minute. Have you read it?
No, is it Jack?
Ah, Jack Sugden. Aye. It's very good. A bestseller, even bigger in America than it is here, I believe.
But he never told anybody. Not even his family.
Well, he had his reasons, I suppose. He did ask me not to spread it around.
He couldn't expect to keep it a secret forever.
Oh, I don't know. Being a famous novelist's not like being a film star. Your face doesn't get a lot of publicity.
But his name, people know that.
Only if the book readers and the people Jack knows around here aren't. Not that kind of book, anyway.
But if it's a bestseller, as you say...
Aye, it is, but not among farmers. Bestsellers are made in towns and cities, not little villages. Even you hadn't heard of it.
Could I borrow it?
Aye. But I like me books returned. I'm fond of them.
Oh, I will, I promise. Thank you.
Now then, what about these?
Oh, yes.
Well, happen you'd better look at them when you bring the book back.
Would you mind?
Not at all. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. I shan't keep it long.
I don't know why you keep going on about it, my dear. After all, your family were bound to find out sooner or later.
Were they? Hell, they don't get through one book a 12-month. And then it's a paperback.
Well, you'll be in paperback yourself soon.
Thrash paperbacks. And second-hand at that, usually.
Well, it's better out in the open anyway. You know, your mother's homemade bread has ruined me for this cotton wool ready slice.
Doesn't seem to have affected your appetite.
No, it's all that fresh air. If I don't look out, I'll be getting positively healthy.
We still haven't really discussed the mill house yet.
Well, I have tried. If you remember, that's the whole reason for coming here last night. But you went on and on at me so about my little faux pas. I had to retire early in self-defense.
Well, do you think it's a proposition?
I think it's marvellous. It's a genuine 19th century watermill, and I needn't tell you that in my hands it'll restore beautifully. My further advice to you is to buy up all the land around it, in case some speculator manages to corrupt the local council into giving him planning permission for an estate of semi-detached eyesores.
You mean Jameson's farm?
Of course.
But how much is all this going to cost?
Well, you don't have to bother about that, do you, my dear? After all, you are rolling.
Well, I do bother. Having money makes me feel guilty. I don't feel I've earned it.
Money or the guilt?
The money. I once worked out that I earn more in a year than my father earned in his lifetime.
Be proud and not depressed. My father never earned a penny in his lifetime. Thinks I'm absolutely mentally deficient even to try. Did you say you had walked or you were going to?
Going to. I've got to decide what I'm going to tell Ma.
Well, walk, dear boy. I'm going to take a bath. Tell your Ma about what? Everything was explained to her last night, wasn't it?
I've got to decide what I'm going to tell her about the farm.
Well, keep it, of course. It's good as a tax loss, if nothing else. Especially with Jameson's alongside.
I still can't see how he could have made so much money out of a book.
Well, what gets me is anyone wanting to pay 100,000 quid to make film of it.
I hope you asked him for an automatic washing machine while you were at it.
One thing's for sure, work won't wait on asking. That still has to be done.
He must have had some reason for keeping it dark.
What's his idea he's got of doing up Old Mill?
Fancies himself as local squire, Atten.
I dare say he wants to set up a house decent like.
Well, he can't live in that on his own. There's about 20 rooms in it.
And maybe he's going to offer us lodgings and servants' quarters.
Well, I've none of that from you. Whatever else Jack's done or not done, he's not let it go to his head, that's plain to see.
I'll go. What's going anyway? Working classes have to keep at it.
Up top, are you?
All right, getting them down to start dipping.
I'm seeing Doctor at 10:30. Can you take me down?
Land Rover be free, will it?
As far as I know, I don't make plans for it. What's that?
Summons. Date of hearing's 22nd. Cost me a few weeks' wages, I bet.
Jack ought to pay for that. It's his van.
He wasn't driving it.
Oh, same. You ought to help our Joe.
I can look after myself, Peggy. Don't need his charity here or in police court. Ready?
All right. See you later then, love.
Right.
Take care.
Has Grandad had his breakfast?
He'd be yelling blue murder if he hadn't. But I'll take him another cup of tea in a minute.
Did you tell him about our Jack?
I told him last night.
How'd you take it?
He wasn't bothered. Seemed more interested in getting a second helping of ham than anything else.
You ought to make him get up. It's no fun running up and downstairs waiting on him.
He'll get up when he's ready.
That's all very well. Oh, that'd be. It's Mr. Wilson. What do you want?
Best open door and find out.
Of course, I adore the idea of restoring it, but it is a bit big, isn't it? For one person only.
I like plenty of room.
That's all right. Just don't see you managing the housekeeping by yourself, that's all.
I'll get a woman in, I expect.
Not a wife. It's cheaper in the long run.
I've noticed you trying to save money.
Well, that's because I haven't met the right one yet, that's all. You see, this is the main bedroom, do you?
It'll do as well as any.
That's what I mean, dear. Your heart is not in it.
But you designed the place. I live in it.
Do you know, I am a fool. This is the house you used in Field of Tares, isn't it? Is that why you want it done up? To live in it?
That's why I'm in two minds what to do with it. Can't be knocked down. There's a preservation order on it. So it's a choice between restoring it or letting it fall down of its own accord.
Well, the structure's pretty sound.
The walls, yes. But the timbers... The body, you might say, is strong, but the heart's decayed. Dying. When I was a kid, I used to pick worms out with a pin. In those days, they were the only reality around here. Sometimes think things should be left like that. Let them work out their own destiny. And me mine.
Like a sherry?
No, thanks.
Good, is it? He's not there. I said he's not there.
Sorry, Daddy. Who?
Sugden. Jack Sugden. Your best-selling author.
Oh.
He's with some chap from London who's come to help him do up the old mill house.
This is about a family in a mill house.
Oh, giving him ideas, I suppose. Oh, with that and Jameson's farm, he'll be setting up as old-fashioned landed gentry.
Is he going to buy Jameson's?
Not if I can help it.
But is he trying to?
Don't know. Jameson's been to see Sugden, but nobody knows what the outcome was. Or if they do, they're not letting on to me.
Well, can't you find out from Jameson?
Bad tactics. I've got to know whether Sugden's interested or not, so as I know how I stand bargaining with Jameson. Could be a game to force the price up.
Well, what happens if Jack does want it?
Jameson's sitting pretty. Think better for a seller than two buyers bidding against each other.
Oh, it's not that important. There are other farms for sale.
Not next door to us. One thing I don't like is being bested.
I don't think Jack does either. So it does rather look as if Jameson could make a fortune between the two of you.
There'll be 2 bars, here and my back room there. Extended, of course. This'll be lounge and back room saloon.
Where you live then, if they're taking your back room?
Going to make me a flat. Modern. Going to be a first-class house when they're finished. Make Malt Shovel look a bit sick.
You'll have your hands full by the sound of it.
Aye. Be needing some help if you're interested.
Me?
Well, they're finishing down that button place, aren't they, Reed? They'll be looking for a job, and I'll be needing a barmaid. Might even want 2.
Are you asking me to be a barmaid?
Could do a lot worse. You're never out of work in this trade.
What's money like?
Ah, well, that I can't say yet. Have to see how things work out. Depends on brewers.
Oh, it won't be up to you then.
I'm not saying that. I'll be in charge. Landlord has to be. But they're not experienced, see? And happen they'll only want me to take on experienced staff.
What'd you ask me in first place for then?
Well, see if you was interested.
And what if I was?
Weekends are getting a mite busy for me to handle on my own. Thought it might be a good idea to get some help in. Good chance for somebody to learn trade. And bit time alterations are done, I'll have an experienced hand ready to come in full time.
How much?
3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, £2.
£2?
I'll be teaching it ropes, remember, and there's a full-time job at proper rates at the end of it.
All right. When do I start?
2 whiskies, please, Amos. Hello, Janie. Like a drink?
No, thanks. Just going. I've been doing some shopping for Frank.
Oh, not working today.
No, finished last Friday. How's Joe?
Haven't you been seeing much of him recently, then?
No, I've been, well, I haven't run across him somehow. When then?
Friday, 5:30 sharp. Anything in these?
Water.
See you Friday then, Amos.
I'll be here. Knock on door. 34.
What happens if I knock on door at 5:30 on Friday?
They'll wait half an hour till opening time. I've taken Janie on as barmaid.
Oh, getting ready for the metamorphosis, eh?
No what?
The big change. Genuine country pub transformed into early English hostelry.
I will say what you like, but it's going to be a first-class place. I've seen plans.
How do you fit into them?
Me? Well, I'll be landlord, of course, same as I am now.
Don't bank on it, Amos. You're a bachelor. Brewers usually like married men in charge of the first-class houses. Let's sit down, Bart.
That was a pretty piece.
Janie?
Should cheer the place up.
She's a nice kid. Now, what are we going to do about Jameson?
Well, it's what you want to do about it. It's your money, your farm, your problem.
I pay you to advise. Advise.
My line is house restoration. My clients' personal problems I leave to their psychiatrists or to their consciences.
It's not a personal problem. It's simply a matter of deciding whether it's worth buying Jameson's farm or not.
Well, I've told you my opinion. Buy it.
Of course, we still haven't seen it yet.
Well, I haven't. Well, if you grew up in the district, you know every inch of the place, including Jameson's.
Why did you say it was a personal problem?
Well, if you don't know that, my dear, I suggest that you read your book and find out.
You got lost.
I was talking to Amos in Woolpack. Here, you'll never guess.
Oh, you might as well tell me then.
He offered me a job as barmaid.
He didn't.
See, his brewers are going to do place up and he'll need some help. He said he'd teach me trade. There, I think that's your lot. Here's your list.
Oh, this is very kind of you, Janie.
Oh, pleasure. Got nothing else to do at the moment, have I?
Aye, well, somewhat'll turn up.
Well, it has, hasn't it? I start Friday.
You haven't taken that job with Amos, have you?
Oh, only part-time. See how I get on.
As a barmaid?
Well, don't you like barmaids?
Well, I don't like the idea of you as one.
Well, it's only serving drinks. There's nothing difficult about that.
I wasn't thinking. Nah, there's not in a job like that for you.
There's no other kind of job going.
I could happen find one here for you.
Here? Oh, what could I do here?
Well, it could be looking after the house.
Housekeeper?
Well, no. Well, fact is, you see, we're thinking I needed a wife.
Come on. How's your arm feeling? Oh, just give it a bit of a rest. Jack'll not best Wilkes, you know. Wilkes is businessman, knows what he's on about. Right, it's me, Jack's not backwards there either. Looking after himself, yeah, can do that all right. But running a business, and farm is a business like anything else, well, he's got no idea.
I don't know.
Oh, look at the mess he's made of this place.
We were in a mess before he got here.
And what's he done to improve it? Nout. Go on. You know what Jack said the other night about not wanting place?
Aye.
Well, as soon as everything's fixed with you and Mr. Wilkes, I'm going to tell him I'll take it off his hands.
What, as a partnership?
Don't care how, but I'm going to have it. Then you'll see what can be done with this place.
Suppose your mother doesn't like the idea.
It's nothing to do with her, is it?
Well, she's always been set on Jack having farm. He's the eldest, you know.
I do know. I'm youngest, remember?
Well, I don't think it matters who runs the place, as long as we get a new tractor. That one we've got has really had it now.
That's what I like to see. Men working.
Hello, Mr. Wilkes.
Is he about, Jack?
No, he went to stay at Blue Boar in Houghton with pal of his who's been looking at old Millhouse.
Aye. Belongs to the farm, doesn't it?
Aye. Well, we never lived there, just played there as kids.
What's his friend's interest in it, then?
He's a decorator or something. Jack's got some daft idea about doing place up.
I see. This farm, it's leasehold, that right?
Oh, aye. Nice long lease and not half run yet.
From the Miffield estate?
Aye. Well, they used to own everything round here at one time.
You wouldn't know if your brother's been up to see Jameson yet, would you?
Well, he can't have, can he?
Oh, Jack told Ma last night that you were going up to see Jameson this afternoon up at Jameson's farm.
I never heard that.
You were up seeing Grandad.
Well, why didn't you let on?
Well, I never thought about it.
Matt, I'd like you to come up and see me tonight. Can you manage it?
Oh, aye. What time?
About 7:30, all right? Good.
Well, it's a grand bit of property. I'll be right sorry to leave.
Has gone to seed a bit.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with land. That's good cropping, that is.
Oh, I don't know about that, my dear, not knowing what cropping is, but frankly, the farmhouse is falling to pieces.
Oh, it's a good house. Solid.
Oh, the walls may be, but the timbers are rotten. Half the tiles are missing. There's no damp course. It hasn't had a lick of paint for years. Frankly, it's a slum.
You don't know what he's talking about. You go a long way around here, Jack, to find a better house.
Oh, perhaps they should all be pulled down then, eh?
You city folk, you don't know what you're talking about with houses. You're too cosseted, you don't know what living is.
Oh, nothing wood in that shack. It's hardly fit for a pig.
And I have the best pig in the county, you can ask anyone. There's naughty Yorkshire or touch bran away.
If it's that one that I saw, I am not surprised.
Oh, yes, and what do you know about pigs, do, eh? Answer me that.
Let's say that I know one when I smell one.
Look here, I'm not having him. I'll talk business with you, Jack, but he's out. I want nothing to do with him.
You don't reckon much of the house, then?
No, it's useless.
Oh, but I'm not selling just a house. I'm selling the farm as a going concern.
Going bankrupt, more like.
Look here, Jack, are you interested or not? Because I'm not staying here listening to him talking a little rubbish about my house.
What sort of price are you asking?
Well, if you're willing to do business, I'll listen to you, but not with him here.
I'll take a walk.
Right, go up towards home. I shan't be long.
Well, don't agree to anything without independent valuation. My regards to your pig, my dear.
We're better off without his sort. We can talk now as farmer to farmer, Jack.
How much?
Well, there's goodwill first, then...
What goodwill?
No, you're not catching me like that. I've been in business too long. No. Goodwill's worth something in any business.
If there is a business. What sort of books can you produce?
Oh, I can show you the books, never fear. I'm going to be fair with you. Harry Jameson never twisted anybody. No. Now then, let's take the land.
We're talking about goodwill.
Yeah, I know, but first things first and everything in proper order. Now, the land. There's 50 acres and some of the best land there is.
Well, how much do you want for it all?
As a going concern? Well, I could start talking around 17,500.
Well, the house is worth nothing. Neither's the goodwill. Good land round here fetches £250 an acre. That's 12,500. Stock? What there is of it, I'll take at going prices, say 13,500.
Are you trying to make fun of me?
13,500, or at valuation. Think it over and let me know.
Mum, I've been thinking. Fuller's is best. They had a big advert in paper only a week or so back.
The same machines, whatever shop we go to.
Hey, you can see them all together at Fuller's. It makes it easier to compare models.
As neither of us know out about washing machines, we won't know what to compare with which.
Happen we could have one on approval.
Ah, and happen we can take some dirty washing along for a trial run too.
You ready, you two?
Aye. Hey, will we be able to take it straight home in back of Land Rover?
Oh, I expect so, otherwise they'll deliver it.
Will they? From Bradford?
Oh, it depends where you get it. I've seen Fuller's van around in village.
I told you they was best.
Oh, best go straight there then, or you'll be late for milking.
I've been thinking, Matt, could Joe do milking on his own?
Well, he could, but...
Well, since we're in Bradford, why don't we take me mum to pictures or something? It'd make more of an outing of it. It's not often we get the chance, is it?
Well,
Would you like that, Mum?
There's supper to see to.
Oh, we'll be home by 9 o'clock. There's plenty of time for supper. Ah, Joe won't mind waiting.
There's Dad.
It won't hurt him to do without food for an hour or two. He's eaten enough food lately to keep a regiment for a week or more. Let's do it, eh?
Would make a change, I must say.
Peggy...
I'll go see Joe about milking. Where is he?
Peggy, I won't be able to stay in Bradford. I've got to get back.
Well, if Joe does milking...
It's naught to do with milking, it's... Well, I wasn't going to tell you until it was fixed proper. I didn't want to raise your hopes.
What about?
I'm going to see Mr. Wilkes tonight about a job.
Job? What sort of a job?
He wants me as foreman manager when he buys Jameson's farm.
When who buys Jameson's farm?
Mr. Wilkes.
Oh, sorry, Matt. I hate to do you out of a job, but that's the way it is. I promised to tell you by Wednesday what I was going to do. Well, I'm going to live in the old mill house, and I'm buying Jameson's farm to go with it. Whatever it costs.